Rastafari blessings and greetings to all. This is your Wyndham, Ras John Farai. And today I'm going to do more on my videos regarding His Majesty and the Kennedys and the Rastafari over the Illuminati. Now, yesterday I touched on a bit about His Majesty and JFK, His Majesty warned Kennedy about the military-industrial complex, about underground secret society rogue elements that were among in the United States government that Kennedy was going to expose, but as he said, I'm going to leave office and then I'll expose this plot, and only to find 7 days later he was killed. But I also like to mention briefly about here is RFK, the younger brother of John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, who, like his brother, met the same fate and was assassinated while running for president in 1968. And he's meeting His Majesty. Now, you notice how, like so many others, he's bowing to Abba Janoi and showing his gratitude to the King of Kings. And the amazing thing about this is that Kennedy, who, unlike his brother, ran more of a platform that dealt more with civil rights. He was with a lot of the Chicano and Native American activists like Cesar Chavez and many others. And as we can see here, he's bowing to the King of Kings and understanding the revelation of the Most High Jah Rastafari. That RFK made this comment around the time running for president. He says, and I quote, "But suppose God is black. What if we go to heaven and we all of our lives have treated the Negro as an inferior, and God is there and we look up and he is not white? What then is our response?" Basically, from what I read, RFK got an epiphany or a revelation when he met the King of Kings. And while meeting him, he finally saw and understood that Abba Janoi is a man of color, a black Ethiopian, the Ancient of Days, the one with burnt brass and whose hair is white as wool. And I think RFK said this and shook up those powers that be that were after him as much as his brother. And Kennedy himself, Robert Kennedy, was going to do what his brother didn't do, and getting out of Vietnam, stopping the arms sales and all of that. His Majesty, who yesterday I mentioned in one of my vids, was saying how the arms race was the destruction of man. But he was not only just talking about the arms race of the Cold War, he was going back to the fallen angels in the book of Enoch that taught man the weapons of war. Now, with that being said, let's look at this picture now. His Majesty is meeting John F. Kennedy, and he's at the White House. Now, brother, I think Wyndham Yadin, my brethren and co-laborer, did a vid on this. I think we might have did a vid on it, about how, if you look at this vid, you see Kennedy is sitting, and he's just sitting there looking at the King of Kings, and they're passing the White House, and His Majesty gets up and stands. You notice he does that a lot. And while watching the video, I noticed that he will purposely walk through the security just to meet the people and, just walk without any fear whatsoever, which tells I that His Majesty knew about these Illuminati, probably that were after him, because he was the first one to expose them when he said in the liberation speech of May 5th, 1941, "The godless and cruel dragon has risen its head up." And what he means by the godless and cruel dragon is basically this right here, the Illuminati, the forces of Babylon, symbolized by the two fascist dictators, Hitler and Mussolini. But this is I book, Rastafari over Illuminati, which deals with the coup against His Majesty. If ones haven't read it or haven't seen it, there it is, and it's a must-read. And I think not only if you're Hail Rastafari, but for all truth seekers, they all should read this as well. But if you notice that His Majesty is just basically standing up, showing no fear whatsoever, knowing that probably there were people he knew that were trying to take him out. But again, Abba Janoi, he overcomes them because he is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, and Lion of the tribe of Judah. And it's interesting to note that this is the same car or the same way that JFK would eventually be assassinated. And there's a lot of interesting theories on this that I book put into theory. But yeah, that's His Majesty, and he's standing showing true dignity and royalty and no fear. Now, here are some things in my book I mentioned. Here about the Kennedy assassination, JFK. How come so many windows in numerous tall buildings were open and unguarded all around the plaza along the presidential motorcade route? Why didn't any presidential bodyguards or agents ride shotgun with the presidential limousine? In a hostile city like Dallas that was openly hostile to Kennedy, there was no protection, no rooftop sharpshooters or check for buildings and windows. And that basically tells me that Kennedy was a marked man and he didn't go for the right protocol.